Hello world, and welcome to episode 8 of the Common Sense Man's News and Talk Show, where we'll be discussing all different types of news from various sources of the internet in a common sense way. We are live right now. This is our first live episode, so excuse me for looking around, making sure everything's good. We are live, looking good. We are going good. Anyways, your questions and comments or subjects you'd like to discuss, please email them for the time being to KommonSenseMan@gmail.com. That's KommonSenseMan@gmail.com. Common with a K. All right, let's get started with this live broadcast. Mind you, live. Starting with CNN. The major topic right now on CNN is the quote, Trump tweet complicates a key vote on surveillance. This is regarding FISA, which is, FISA, what does this stand for? Is the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. They are going to be voting on that in the next day or two. We're not sure if
the president seemed to come out against
Trump
a
is
bill.
for it or against it, but it does, and for those of you who don't know what that is, it's Section 22 of that FISA, which allows intelligence community to monitor foreign communications, is set to expire January 19th. Critics of the program argue that it allows warrantless collection of U.S. citizens' private information. And it is through this agency that Trump thinks that they were attacking his campaign. So that we'll see. I don't know much about that, but that's the news. Other news in the middle of the aisle here is police stand guard outside a classroom in Florida about white racism. Very interesting. And here it is. If you want to know what this course is, the course description says the class will integrate the concept of race, examine the racist ideologies,
offering a course
laws, policies, and practices that have operated for hundreds of years to maintain white racial domination over those racialized as non-white. It also aims to discuss ways to challenge white racism and white supremacy toward promoting an anti-racist society where whiteness is not tied to greater life choices. There you go. Not sure about all that, what that all means. And going to the right here, next on the news there on CNN is again, it's 2016 all over. Trump once again brings up Hillary Clinton in the emails. Hillary Clinton, excuse me, in the emails. You know, my opinion on all that is let's just put all that behind us. Put that behind us. Put all this Russian, investigation, all this stuff. Let's put it behind us. Etch a sketch. Stop. Let's move forward. Let's become better, not go back. Politicians, we grew up knowing from everybody I've ever talked to, every grown up when I was a kid up till even now, all politicians are crooked. So with that in mind, I don't know what they're going to accomplish here. Anyway, that's enough on that. Let's move over to Fox News. Fox News, wow, their headliner. This is really interesting. Chelsea Handler. It says Handler Unhinged. She made a homophobic tweet. Chelsea Handler slammed for homophobic anti-Trump tweet questioning Lindsey Graham's sexuality. This is pretty bad, actually. It's kind of embarrassing for any Democrats out there. Here is what she said. I'm going to say it verbatim. It's going to be bad, so cover your ears if you don't like cuss words. It says, holy fuck. I just saw the video of Trump's bipartisan meeting yesterday, Handler tweeted. Hey, at Lindsey Graham SC, what kind of dick-sucking video do they have on you to be acting like this? Wouldn't coming out be more honorable? Wow, that is pretty serious shit, Chelsea. I think you should relax, chill out. And then there's a quote from a Twitter user: keep being the voice of Democrats while you use homosexuality as an insult. Yeah, all you full-fledged Democrats out there, that kind of should piss you off. That's kind of abusive in my opinion. Going a little lower on the totem pole here on Fox News, they're given a most extreme do not travel warning issued for 5 Mexican states to U.S. travelers. And I'm going to tell you real quick what they are. All 5 states: Tamaulipas on the U.S. border, Sinaloa, Colima, Michoacan, and Guerrero on the Pacific coast are hotspots for drug cartel activity, either hosting trafficking routes or extensive drug crop cultivation. So if you're going to Mexico, stay out of there. Just go to the big resorts towns, Cancun, all the other ones. Stay in a resort right on the ocean. Just go from the airport to there. Don't move. You should be okay. Okay, I'll move it to CNBC. The big deal on there is Trump renews call for internet tax, making veiled threat against Amazon. Of course, he's talking about that with the post office too, saying the post office is struggling because they're delivering so many Amazon packages and they're losing money. Well, I'm a big Amazon user, Amazon Prime. I know there's probably a lot of people, whether you're Democrat, Republican, Communist, or whatever you want to be, everybody uses Amazon Prime, so I don't know where this is going, but I'm going to keep using it because I'd rather pay a little bit more or whatever instead of driving in my car to the store, wasting my time and my gas, and actually paying probably more money for the actual product. And as far as the postal office, U.S. Postal Office goes about losing money, it is a government-ran agency, and that's usually what government-ran agencies do, whether you're city, county, state, federal. You basically lose money because the way you're ran. And we're not going to talk anymore about that. Ethereum dives as one of the world's biggest cryptocurrency markets considers a bill to ban trading, and that is South Korea. That'll be very interesting to see what happens there. I don't know. I don't know what everybody thinks about cryptocurrency, but that's what's happening. China is reminding us that it's our banker. So for those of you who don't know, who is the United States banker? It's China, according to them. They have 1 trillion of our U.S. debt, the more than any other country. And of course, all these trading deals with China. And Washington losing patience with Beijing over its handling of North Korea nuclear crisis. You know, this is all coming together. So with every action, there is a reaction. We just got to remember that. You know, you tax this, there's something that's going to happen because of that. Blah blah blah. You know, you put sanctions on countries, things happen. China, wow, our banker. Never really thought of it like that. What else is happening on CNBC? Nothing really worth talking about, although now, just giving you an update on the California mudslides, there's now 17 confirmed dead. This is just a couple hours down the road from me, Montecito, just south of Santa Barbara. Man, if you've seen the pictures, if you have not seen the pictures, Google it, Montecito mud pictures. It is just crazy how that happened. It's scary, actually. I hope all those people are covered with insurance. Whew! All right. One more last quote from CNBC. I'm just going to read the quote and I'll get into it. Americans love the economy, but most still don't like Donald Trump. Go figure. Just, again, if you just stop tweeting and be a leader, we don't need a president, we need a leader. Going to sports, they're going to, if you're a Raider fan, this concerns you, they're going to, an advocacy group is calling for a probe into the Gruden hire, making sure that they, you know, did do interviews with the Rooney Rule. We'll see how that works out. Anything else happening in sports worth talking about? Nothing that I see. NFL weekend's coming up. That's about it. Moving over to TMZ, some bad news for all you Motorhead fans. Motorhead guitarist Fast Eddie Clarke, dead at 67, the young age of 67. Clarke died peacefully after fighting pneumonia. He was the last of the OGs from his band. Motorhead frontman Lenny, aka and died 2 years ago. Wow, they must have partied really hard. They all died really young. Going down again, another deal with James Franco. Super uncomfortable on the late night show about Ali Sheedy. Look that up. I like James Franco too. I hope I hope those accusations are not true. But it is coming out on TMZ. Travel news. Hey, let's get to travel. Let's get to the fun stuff. If you're going to Sweden in 2018, I don't know when it's going to open, but there's a floating sauna that offers amazing views of the northern lights. Go check it out. Google it. Floating sauna, Sweden. It's trippy looking. The sauna looks like something out of I don't know what it looks like. It looks pretty good. Something out of Vikings. That's what I was trying to say. What else? Let's tap on one more thing. 3 types of flight deals that will save you a ton and how to spot them. I thought this is kind of interesting. I love to travel myself. So here's the 3 different flash sales to encourage travels to directly with airlines. There's flash sales that come out. You've probably seen those. Going to airfare wars when they're being very competitive. Like with Hawaii and stuff like that, they do that. And then here's the one that's interesting. That doesn't happen a lot, but when they do, you can get a killer deal. Mistake fares, when the airlines accidentally basically miss a decimal point on the price, where you could get a business class that's usually $2,600 for $600, that kind of thing. First class, instead of $10,000, you're paying $1,000. So there is mistake fares. They don't happen as often as they used to, but they still do. So I'm going to be looking out for those. I'm going to be planning my trip to Europe this summer. And ending on a interesting note here, and I got to find out where I found that. This is science news, which I love. Science and space type stuff. It's just mind-boggling to me to even think about this stuff. But something in space is blasting out bursts of radio waves. It's been doing this since 2012. Of course, some people hoping that it's extraterrestrial life, but this where it's coming from, the star-forming dwarf galaxy is 3 billion light years from Earth. 3 billion light years. If you don't understand what that is, you have to go the speed of light for 3 billion years. Older than our planet, I believe. So for that long, you'd have to be traveling speed of light to get to where this is coming from. That's crazy. Okay, we're going to end that this news on that note with space travel. Just kind of knowing, we're just a small little pin drop on this universe. So please do subscribe to my channel, the KommonSenseMan's News and Talk Show. Would appreciate that. We're going to make this something big. We're trying to bring people together. Let's start discussing some of these issues, bring it out in the open, and talk about it in a common sense way. Just kind of relax, take a deep breath, put it out there, and I think we're going to find that most people think alike for the most part, but there's just little things that are different, and that creates friction amongst everybody, friends, relatives, to say the least. So on that note, we'll be ending this broadcast right now. So adieu. Have a good rest of your Thursday.